Am I the a-hole for dumping my boyfriend after I got a surprise from his ex? So we've been together just over 13 months. I, female 27 and Luke, male 29, were planning on moving in together in about 4 months when his lease is up. We have been to loads of events together: weddings, engagement parties, birthdays, even his grandparents' wedding anniversary party. We were due to attend his friend's wedding in a neighboring country when a few weeks before, he told me he didn't want me to go. It was just as I was booking my flights. I asked why, and he said I would be bored. I know his friend group well, so it's not like I wouldn't know anyone. Anyway, despite many heated discussions, he was adamant. This left a bad taste in my mouth, and I felt something was off. So 7 of my friends and I decided to go for a break at a beach while he was gone, and then extended it to a full week. My friend Jem's parents had a house at the beach less than 2 hours drive away, and the weather was supposed to be good, so we were excited. We were leaving on Wednesday and due back the following Wednesday morning early and going straight into work. I didn't even bother telling my boyfriend. Honestly, it felt like he wouldn't care, and I was on the brink of breaking up with him, but decided to enjoy the beach break first. I get a call from Anna, female 26, out of the blue. Anna was the girlfriend of my boyfriend's best friend Sam, 29. We had been due to travel with them. She overheard Luke talking to Sam. Sam was asking if he really wasn't going to bring me to the wedding. Luke said yes, because his ex Lucy, late 20s I think, had finally RSVP'd she was going and had really delayed. She texted Luke and told him she couldn't wait to see him again and had a surprise for him. They had broken up 3 years ago and she lived abroad, and they kept in touch a little as far as I knew. Luke was convinced the surprise was a hookup, as this has been some kind of a running joke with them when they dated. Anyway, he didn't want me there messing up his chance of having sex with Lucy. He said it was a once-off, but he had to do it. Well, that was enough for me. I knew I would be dumping him, but didn't want a week of him texting or harassing me to forgive him while I was at the beach. So I held off until we got back. On the Tuesday, Luke texted and said he was sleeping over at mine until Thursday, as he would be leaving early Friday morning and would be gone until Sunday. He didn't ask, just told me. I replied that he couldn't, as I was leaving very early on Wednesday morning for a week's vacation and would see him next week. Told him not to worry about keeping in touch because I was planning to be phone-free on my vacation as much as possible. He asked why I then told him I was going on vacation, and I just said I thought I had. He wanted to know who I was going with and 100 other questions. I told him we would talk when I got back, that I was busy packing and to enjoy the wedding and I hope it was full of surprises for him. He didn't reply. We had a fantastic vacation. The rain held off and we stayed on the beach all day and hit nightclubs and local bars and restaurants at night. I didn't post on social media, but was certainly tagged in a lot of pics. He texted me a few times Thursday and Friday, but just general flight leaving now and I got here okay stuff. But on Saturday, the day of the wedding, he really texted and called a lot. The texts were all how he missed me and made a mistake not bringing me. I didn't reply and didn't answer any calls. Same on Sunday. Then he got home on Sunday night and wanted to join us at the beach. I told him no, he would just be bored. So Sunday day night, Anna rang me and couldn't stop laughing. His ex Lucy turned up to the restaurant Friday to the group dinner, and her surprise was that she was 7 months pregnant with her new husband's baby, and her shiny new husband was with her. Lucy played a cruel but hilarious prank on him. But it also ended our relationship, but I was grateful to Lucy for showing me who he really was. Luke arrived to mine Wednesday after I got back and was love-bombing me, telling me how much he missed me and apologizing again. At that point, I told him I knew why he didn't bring me and that his surprise wasn't sex but a pregnant ex and her husband. So I told him it was over. He planned to cheat even if he didn't get the chance to. I was laughing at how Lucy pranked him, but honestly, I was still hurting on the inside. He tried to get me to change my mind because he hadn't actually cheated, but I wouldn't. Am I the a-hole for dumping him even though he didn't actually cheat? Now for the top comments. Anna is a real friend for looking out for you. Anna is a hero. And honestly, so is Lucy. Lady Karma outdid herself with this one. Not the a-hole and have Anna give Lucy her thanks. Right? I love this so much for him. Not only did he not get to sleep with his ex, which was so important to him, apparently he was willing to sacrifice his relationship. He's also single now. What a freaking loser. Onwards and upwards, OP. Not the a-hole. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. Hope you had a fantastic vacation. I love that saying because I should have listened to that statement ages ago once or twice. You'll meet someone better, OP. Next story. Am I the a-hole for kicking my girlfriend out while she recovers from surgery? I, male 27, have been with my girlfriend, female 25, for 3.5-ish years. We have a great relationship, except for when it comes to money. She's terrible with money and is very impulsive when it comes to spending. A year ago, I sat down with her and discussed our finances, and hers was crap to say the least. I told her I'd help her get out of the hole she was in if she was willing to sacrifice and do the work. We made plans and agreed. If she could reduce her spending by a certain amount for 3 months in a row, she could move in with me at my townhouse and get out of her $4,500 a month lease to save up and pay off her credit card debts. She did it and moved in with me. We agreed that in the $4,500, she'd put $2,000 towards debt and $2,500 would go to a savings account. She's done that for the last 9 months and is almost done paying off her debts. She should now have about $20,000 in her savings. 3 weeks ago, she left with her cousin to visit family. When she came back, she had gotten a Brazilian butt lift done. She had spent nearly all of her savings. I was furious over it and told her to pack up her crap and leave my place. She's since gone and has been blowing up my phone, saying she should have discussed it with me first and that I love it when it's fully healed and all kinds of stuffs. She knows I wouldn't support her doing it, let alone spend that money on it. She's had to take time off work to recover and had to go straight back to using her credit card. She says if I don't forgive her and take her back, she'll be forced to where she was financially a year ago. I told her that's none of my business. Am I overreacting and being an a-hole? She had 3.5 years to learn 1, you value fiscal responsibility over beauty. 2, not getting married because her impulsivity. Making a unilateral decision to spend her entire savings is fully her right, but can't be shocked that a 100% predictable result happened. Clearly she'll never learn. Not the a-hole. This. Thank you. Not the a-hole, and by the way, this was planned. It was not spur of the moment. She just was pulling the old, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. She spent $20,000 on a butt job and is saying you kicking her out is why she'll be back to her old spending habits? Yeah, okay. I know, right? The fat that they sucked out of her head and put in her butt is making her confused. If she is right back where she was a year ago, it is nobody's fault but her own. But when it heals, you love it. I really can't stop laughing. Something is seriously wrong with her. I'm finding it hard to believe that someone this stupid can afford a $4,500 apartment. It was pretty much her entire savings, to be fair. You get to decide if you want to take the risk of living like this between now and when you die. When you get married or committed long-term and set financial goals, can you trust her? Do you want to find out? She made bad financial choices before she moved in and is still making them. She is not financially compatible with you. And now she has a fake butt that will likely get some version of hard, uneven, lumpy, possible necrotic, and still fake. Next story. Am I the a-hole for blocking and silently moving on from my cheating fiancé? I, 31 female, dated my ex-fiancé Jose, 33 male, for 5 years, and we had been engaged for about 6 real months. We had a really good relationship. I thought he and I were going to end up being together for the rest of our lives and build a family. To make a long story short, I found out he had been cheating on me with a coworker for about 9 months. Yes, before the engagement. At first, I was beyond mad, and my first impulse was to find ways to literally ruin his and her life. But honestly, after about 16 hours of thinking and crying about it, he was on a work trip. I figured anything I did would be a waste of time. And since my goal was to start a family, I felt like I didn't really have any more time to waste on someone who obviously isn't going to be in my life in the long term or short term. So I just let go. I packed all my things, asked my dad to help me move them back into the family home so I could get situated, and literally just started moving forward with my life. I just let him have anything that was ours. Something about those items seemed foreign to me now, and I really didn't want to associate with it. I left the ring at a house. By about halfway through the second day while I was moving my stuff, he started to really push the envelope on getting me on the phone, but I just continued to dodge. I had to undo some things. There were no joint bank accounts, but some other accounts/things that we shared that I had to untangle. But our lives were pretty separate. By the third day, still without saying anything to him, I blocked him and asked my parents not to discuss anything with him. They of course knew what had happened. I told them they were more than welcome to maintain a relationship with him if they chose. My dad loved him, but I asked them not to discuss or talk about me at all. After a week-long business trip, he showed up at the house, but I told my dad I had nothing to say to him and to please get him to go away. Now, it's been about 2 weeks and he hasn't been back since, so I've still not talked to him, still blocked. I feel like I've never really made an effort to move on with my life. I'm touring nearby apartments and hope to have my own lease signed by the end of the month. I really just felt like there wasn't anything to talk about, and I didn't feel like I owed someone who would do something like that to me anything, even a conversation. This morning, while discussing my plans, etc., my parents basically sat me down and asked me to talk over everything with him. They figure I will regret it in the future, that mistakes happen, that without his confessions I can't be 100% sure that he cheated, etc., etc. I told him that I didn't really want to waste any more time on the situation and that, while I was being selfish, I didn't think hearing his side would help me in healing in any way. My mom and I got into a pretty heated argument. Eventually, she told me she raised a more compassionate and caring daughter than that. Why do I owe a cheater anything? Am I the a-hole? Edit. Saw some people asking. Sorry, forgot to mention how I found out. I'm 100% sure he is/was cheating. I was working on a downstairs computer when an email came through in Outlook. From what I knew, we had Gmail accounts. I clicked the tab and saw tons of recent emails of orders for a bunch of products. Things like Lubrasil, KY, etc. I knew we weren't using anything like that, so instantly got suspicious. I started to look around the email a bit and didn't really find much. However, I wasn't reading anything sent from his company's work address, but eventually clicked into several emails. And yeah, the emails were pretty sexual, and had times of them meeting up, going out, being intimate, etc. for the last 9 months. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole and I'm a suspicious woman, so I'm fairly certain at least one of your parents is in contact with him and is spinning them some BS story. Put your parents on an information diet. Tell them clearly that they are not to disclose your new location. You showed maturity and grace. You stood up for yourself. There is absolutely nothing to regret. And why on earth would anyone want to be compassionate to a cheater and liar? No regrets. Hold your head up high and move on. My bet is the mom. She is mad at Opie and stated she thought she raised a more compassionate daughter and wants her to hear his side. Why would she care what his side was? If I had a daughter and someone hurt her, no matter how much I liked that person, I stand by her, because that person hurt my daughter. Opie was compassionate and caring. That's why she didn't cheat. Get the mother to read through all the emails detailing their sexy time, out loud, with Opie's father sitting there. After every illicit reference, Opie can ask, and how would you feel if Dad sent this email to another woman? Dad, how would you feel if this situation was reversed? If Opie's mother is still insisting Opie be more compassionate and hear him out, it's time to start asking if she's cheating, seeing as she's trying to excuse it. Not the a-hole. Full stop. You handled a gut-wrenching situation with maturity. Packing up and moving on without causing a scene is a ballsy move. The audacity to suggest you might regret not hearing his confessions is some grade A nonsense. Cheating is a deal breaker for many, and it's clear as day it is for you too. You don't owe him a conversation or closure. Him cheating was his choice, and moving on silently is yours. Props for keeping it classy and respecting yourself enough to walk away without looking back. Don't let anyone guilt you into thinking you need to hear him out. Stay strong and keep moving forward. It's possibly the ultimate revenge. Not allowing the cheater any way to justify or explain their actions and giving them no chance for closure is the ultimate in head games. Last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my girlfriend she can leave after she berated me in front of her friends? Recently had a cookout with my girlfriend 26 and her friends came. First off, I'll admit that I'm batting out of my league. My girlfriend is gorgeous, and I'm an average guy. Well, I don't know her friends, they seemed stuck up. Throughout the event, I tended to notice that she did not compliment me one time, and instead took constant jabs at me and berated me. She commented on my receding hairline. Said I had a crappy tattoo. She's right, my friend gave me it. Said I'm a lightweight and will be in bed by 8 and can't hang. Said my truck is a piece of crap. Said I don't have any exes because I'm awkward. I mean, there's some truth to some of this, sure, but it's messed up. Because when I'm with my friends, I'll be giving her the biggest compliments. The only thing she said that was relatively nice was that I made her feel safe. I guess this is a compliment? Anyways, afterwards, I asked her why she took so many shots at me, and she said she was just joking and I was being a child. I told her she can leave if she feels like I don't bring anything to the table, and we argued some more and dropped it. We're still kind of walking on eggshells though. Not the a-hole. Congratulations on getting your first ex. Jokes aside, you deserve better. What she did was really not okay and a big waving red flag. Not the a-hole. Let her find someone who suits her and you will meet someone who will appreciate you. Not the a-hole. I mean, if she's going to be a mean girl around her friends like this, are you sure it's not her who is out of your league? I would rather be alone than date someone who tried to tear down parts about me like that. You don't want someone who's going to tear your self-esteem. You want a partner who's going to build yourselves up with you. You're playing in a different league. You are thinking of looks, she's thinking safety and stability. Ask yourself, if she wasn't hot, would you be interested in her? If something happens tomorrow and she lost her looks by weight gain, wrinkles, botched surgery, etc., would her charming personality be worth keeping? She may have exes because they finally ask themselves this very question. Attention of a hot girl can be blinding if he hasn't had previous luck with girlfriends. I went from fat to fit in college and went from no girls to objectively good looking. And it was an eye-opening experience then and something that I still reflect on. Not only behavior I witnessed from others, but my own behavior. She's trying to be cool in front of her friends. It's juvenile and high school mean girl behavior, and she's the child, not you. Then she dismissed her feelings. She needs to grow the heck up. She might be gorgeous on the outside, but she's ugly on the inside. Are you sure you want to be around her? I don't think she's going to stop this behavior. She is embarrassed to be dating OP, it looks like, and is trying to pay it off to her friends as if she doesn't consider the relationship serious.